there. So I remember attending the first round of her match, which was a tough match at the U.S. Open. And then I went back home, and then I was contemplating coming back, and I wanted to witness her win because I think she has such an amazing head on her shoulders and the game. And I think she has a voice and a platform that's going to, transcend.
Maria Sharapova has finally opened up about one of the fastest rising stars in women's tennis, and her comments have made waves across the WTA Tour. The former world #1 and 5-time Grand Slam champion made it clear that she is genuinely impressed by Alex Eala and what the young talent represents for the future of the game. However, Sharapova's remarks went far beyond simple praise for a rising player. In her view, Alex Eala is not just another emerging athlete, but a symbol of something far greater, something the sport has been waiting for. Sharapova revealed that she has been closely following Eala ever since her breakout performance at the Miami Open last year. That event marked a turning point in the young star's career. It was the moment the tennis world recognized that Alex Eala had moved beyond being just a promising junior prospect. She had officially stepped onto the biggest stage, and Sharapova, who understands exactly what it takes to succeed in a fiercely competitive era, immediately saw something truly special in her. She shared that she was especially impressed with how Eala handled the intense spotlight during her breakout run. According to Sharapova, it is incredibly challenging for a young player to suddenly face global attention and rising expectations, as that kind of pressure can overwhelm even the most seasoned competitors. However, Eala remained calm, disciplined, and professional throughout the entire experience. Sharapova even admitted that she found herself quietly supporting Eala during some of her most important matches. She mentioned that she genuinely wanted Eala to come through her opening match at the U.S. Open and was sincerely hoping to see her succeed. For Sharapova, this went beyond just match results or rankings. In her view, Eala represents something far more significant for the sport. She highlighted that Eala is carrying the hopes of Asia in a way that inspires millions who may have never felt represented in professional tennis before. Sharapova also noted that while tennis has expanded worldwide, the top level of women's tennis has historically been dominated by players from Europe and North America, with Asian representation remaining relatively limited.
Victories are so special, but if you treat them too high, and you treat the tough moments as a really big low in your career, it's hard to find that happy medium, and I think that's what that sweet spot is.
That is exactly why Sharapova believes Eala's rise carries such significance. In her view, Eala is not just building her own career, but also creating opportunities for an entire generation of young players across Asia who can now believe they belong at the highest level of the sport. Sharapova went even further, describing Alex Eala as more than just a gifted competitor. She sees her as a rising symbol for Asian tennis. And when someone with Sharapova's experience says that, it carries serious credibility. Throughout her own career, Sharapova dealt with the responsibility of representing a region and culture on the global stage, so she understands the impact of athletes who inspire millions by reflecting their identity and aspirations. One of the qualities that has stood out most to Sharapova is Eala's mindset. She explained that true greatness in tennis goes far beyond simply winning matches. It is easy to appear confident when everything is going well, but the real measure of a champion is how they respond when things don't go their way. According to Sharapova, Eala has already demonstrated that kind of rare mental toughness. She noted that Eala handles her victories with composure, but perhaps more importantly, she deals with losses in a remarkably mature way. Sharapova emphasized that the ability to absorb defeat without letting it damage confidence is one of the most critical traits in professional tennis. The tour is demanding, the level of competition is relentless, and even the best players face regular setbacks. Without the emotional strength to recover from those moments, a player's progress can quickly unravel.
Sport is not just tennis, it's fashion, it's art, it's culture, it's having a platform, and I think she does brilliantly of merging all of those together. Their victories are so special, but if you treat them too high, and you treat the tough moments as a really big low in your career, it's hard to find that happy medium, and I think that's what that sweet spot is.
But according to Sharapova, Eala already shows a deep understanding of this balance. She carries herself with confidence after defeats, never allowing a single loss to define her path. At the same time, She avoids getting carried away by big wins or emotional highs. Sharapova described this level of emotional discipline as one of the most important qualities a young player can develop. In her view, Eala is handling the mental side of the game with a level of maturity that goes far beyond her age. What makes this story even more compelling is that the admiration between the two players is mutual. Alex Eala has openly shared on multiple occasions that Maria Sharapova was one of her biggest inspirations growing up. Like countless young players around the world, Eala watched Sharapova dominate during her peak years. From capturing a Wimbledon title as a teenager to building one of the most iconic careers in tennis, Sharapova's journey left a lasting impact on the next generation.
There's any current players or past players on the women's side that you particularly looked up to in terms of your game style, like you wanting to kind of emulate them on the court?
Definitely. Growing up, my absolute favorite was Maria Sharapova. I guess I loved.
Eala has often expressed her desire to follow a similar path, learning from the experiences of players who achieved success before her, and it seems that Sharapova has been more than willing to pass on that knowledge. In fact, Sharapova has been quietly backing Alex Eala's development since her junior days. Well before the Miami Open breakthrough brought Eala into the global spotlight, Sharapova had already identified the potential within her. According to those familiar with the situation, she has provided guidance and advice to Eala at different stages of her journey. That mentorship has likely helped the young star handle the pressure that comes with a rapid rise on the WTA Tour. With someone like Sharapova supporting her progress, many fans believe that Eala's future in the sport looks incredibly promising. However, Sharapova is not the only tennis icon who has taken notice of Alex Eala's emergence. Novak Djokovic, widely regarded as one of the greatest players in tennis history, has also shown strong admiration for the rising star. His reaction following Eala's exit from Indian Wells revealed just how much respect she has earned within the tennis world. Rather than focusing on the disappointment of her loss, Djokovic reportedly highlighted something else entirely: her conduct immediately after the match. He noted that Alex Eala is impressive to watch on television, but even more remarkable in person. Coming from a player who has competed against multiple generations of elite talent, that praise carries tremendous weight. Djokovic described her as an outstanding athlete who is earning her place on the WTA Tour for all the right reasons. Not through controversy or hype, but through genuine skill, dedication, and relentless effort.
Alex is someone I get along very well with on and off the court. Again, another physical battle, but obviously against an opponent that was, playing on a high level. So I'm glad to overcome it. I was really blown away by how inspired she was. I mean, I was blown away by watching a great athletes.
Another WTA star who has recently voiced her support for Eala is Jessica Pegula. The American made it clear that a single difficult loss should never be used to define a young player's entire career. Following Eala's round of 16 exit at Indian Wells, Pegula emphasized that one match does not determine who a player is or what they can achieve moving forward. She highlighted that Eala has already demonstrated remarkable potential and that her journey in the sport is only just getting started. According to Pegula, the tennis world needs to take a broader perspective instead of focusing too heavily on isolated results. She even shared that she would love to have Eala as a guest on her podcast to discuss the excitement and attention she is currently bringing to women's tennis. That kind of impact extends far beyond rankings or match outcomes. It plays a key role in growing the sport, inspiring the next generation of athletes, and keeping fans around the world engaged. And when you take a step back and look at everything surrounding Alex Eala right now, one thing stands out clearly. The recognition she is receiving is not just empty hype. It is coming from some of the most respected figures in the sport. Maria Sharapova sees the emergence of a future icon representing Asia on the global stage. Novak Djokovic sees a focused competitor with the mindset of a true champion. Jessica Pegula sees a player whose presence is bringing fresh energy to the entire WTA Tour. When legends and top athletes begin to speak about someone in this way, it usually signals something significant: the arrival of a truly exceptional talent. Alex Eala still has a long road ahead of her. There will be highs, setbacks, and countless lessons along the journey. But if the level of respect and backing she is already receiving from some of tennis's biggest names is any indication, her story is only just beginning. And if Sharapova's prediction holds true, the WTA Tour could soon witness the rise of an Asian superstar fully stepping into the global spotlight.